passed.
根據釋
Proposed resolution under the Interpretation and General Clauses Ordinance to amend the Air Pollution Control Vehicle Design Standards Emission Amendment Regulation 2017. Members who wish to speak on the motion will please press the Request to Speak button. I now call upon the Secretary for the Environment to speak and move the motion. Secretary for the Environment. Deputy President, I move that the Air Pollution Control Vehicle Design Standards Emission Amendment Regulation 2017, or the Amendment Regulation, which aims to further improve the roadside air quality by implementing more stringent vehicle design standards for specific vehicles, be amended. The amendments are set out in the agenda. First of all, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the subcommittee led by Mr. Frankie Yik, the chairman of the subcommittee, for their invaluable views offered during the vetting of the amendment regulation. In view of the comments of the subcommittee, we propose the motion of amendment which has the support of the subcommittee. To improve roadside air quality and protect public health, our standing policy is to tighten motor vehicle fuel and emission standards in line with international developments when there is a reasonable supply of compliant fuels and vehicles in Hong Kong. The European Union started tightening emission standards for newly registered vehicles in phases to Euro 6 on the 31st of December 2013. Compared with their Euro 5 counterparts, Euro 6 heavy-duty diesel vehicles emit about 80% less nitrogen oxides and 50% less respirable suspended particulates, while Euro 6 light-duty diesel vehicles emit about 55% less NOx. In 2015, the Environmental Protection Department commenced the consultation and preparatory work on the new round of tightening of statutory emission standards for newly registered vehicles. After considering the vehicle suppliers' timetable for introducing the Euro 6 vehicles to the local market, we sought the support of the Panel on Environmental Affairs of lll.Motion in the end of 2015 on our initial proposal to implement the Euro 6 emission standards in phases starting from the 1st of September 2016, and to start consulting the transport trades and vehicle maintenance trade on the proposal. We also indicated that we would review the current policy on new registration of diesel private cars to avoid the rapid growth of diesel private cars aggravating the roadside air pollution. With the panel's support on the initial proposal, we consulted the transport trades and the vehicle maintenance trade. The transport trade's major view was that they would like the government to defer the proposed implementation timetable for diesel goods vehicles and non-franchise buses at least to the 1st of January 2018. For the vehicle maintenance trade, they did not object to our proposal. Having considered the views received during consultation, we acceded to the transport trade's views and proposed to the panel at the end of last year a revised timetable to implement Euro 6 emission standards for diesel goods vehicles and buses in phases starting from the 1st of January 2018, allowing more time for relevant trades to prepare for the implementation. As for petrol private cars and taxis, the Euro 6 emission standards would be implemented starting from the 1st of July this year, while the standards for diesel private cars would be tightened to California Level 3 on the same day. The panel had no objection in principle to the revised proposal and subsequently held a hearing on the 24th of February this year to receive the views of diesel private car suppliers and the transport trades on the revised proposal. In view of the views received at the hearing on the revised timetable for implementation of the new standards, the panel carried motions proposing the government to further defer the commencement dates. At the same time, the government tabled the amendment regulation under Section 43 of the Air Pollution Control Ordinance, Cap 311, at the lll.Motion for negative vetting on the 22nd of February this year. The lll.Motion has set up a subcommittee scrutinizing the amendment regulation. President, for diesel private cars, the trade requested to further defer the commencement date of the new standard. Their main argument is that they would like to have more time for adjusting their sales plan. We believe that as we already announced the implementation timetable for the new standards in October last year to the diesel private car suppliers, they should have sufficient time to adjust their sales plans. As for goods vehicles and non-franchise buses, the trades would like to defer the implementation date to allow more Euro 6 vehicle models to be introduced to the local market and more time for vehicle mechanics to pick up the maintenance skill for these vehicles. For the supply of vehicles, it's our understanding that all major European and Japanese commercial vehicle suppliers have confirmed that they are able to supply Euro 6 models for the concerning vehicle classes according to the schedule. The vehicle manufacturers of the mainland also have no difficulty in supplying Euro 6 buses to Hong Kong. As for maintenance, the EPD in conjunction with vehicle suppliers, commercial vehicle repair associations representing small and medium vehicle repair workshops, the Vocational Training Council and other organizations have been conducting seminars on repair and maintenance of modern diesel vehicles since 2015 and will continue to conduct these seminars. We will consult the view of the vehicle maintenance trade to add more in-depth materials to assist the trade to master the required maintenance skills. While we consider that the amendment regulation's original implementation timetable is well justified and has already duly considered the operational needs of the trades, we understand and respect the trade's concerns. In addition, many members in lll.Motion would also like to see that the government understand the trade's concerns and endeavors reaching consensus with the trades to facilitate smooth implementation of the regulation. After careful consideration, the government agrees to defer the implementation date of the new standard for diesel private cars to 1st of October 2017 and defer the implementation date of the Euro 6 standard for goods vehicles with design weight of more than 3.5 tons and buses with design weight of more than 9 tons to the 1st of October 2018. The said amendments have been generally accepted by the transport trades and supported by the subcommittee. Deputy President, I hope members will support the said amendments such that the regulation to implement more stringent vehicle design standards to further improve air quality can put into effect as soon as possible. I would like to thank the subcommittee once again. Thank you, President.
I now propose the question to you, and that is that the motion moved by the Secretary for the Environment be passed. The Honourable Frankie Yick. Madam Deputy, in my capacity as the Chairman of the Subcommittee on the Air Pollution Control Vehicle Design Standards Emission Amendment Regulation 27, I report to the Council the work of the subcommittee. The objective of the amendment regulation is that from the 1st of July 2017, the emission standard of newly registered vehicles would be tightened from Euro 5 to Euro 6 standards in stages, and that the newly registered diesel private cars emission should be tightened from California Level 2 to Level 3. The subcommittee held 2 meetings. In principle, members supported the tightening of emission standards to improve roadside air quality, but some members were concerned that in the market now there is an insufficient supply and a lack of choice in terms of brands of Euro 6 vehicles, especially vehicles which are heavy vehicles, and the prices are still high. If there is premature implementation of Euro 6 standards, there will be a lot of compliance cost for the industry. And also the vehicle maintenance trade has not fully grasped the skills for maintaining Euro 6 vehicles, and members are saying that there should be a deferral of the commencement date for the new standards for heavy vehicles and diesel private cars. The administration has said that in drawing up the timetable, they have already consulted the transport trade, and there has already been deferral by 1 year for the new standards to be implemented for diesel goods vehicles and non-franchise buses. The administration is of the view that the timetable is reasonable, but it is understandable towards the concerns of the trade. After talking to the subcommittee, the administration agrees that for design weight of more than 3.5 tons, and which are goods vehicles, and also buses with a design weight of more than 9 tons, the deferral would be for 9 months until the 1st of October 2018. And also there will be a deferral of 3 months until the 1st of October 2017 for the implementation of tightening to California Level 3 standards for diesel private cars. The subcommittee understands that the administration will no longer accept first registration for diesel private cars which only comply with Euro petrol car emission standards. The subcommittee asked the administration to explain the matter. The administration said that recently some authoritative organizations have shown that by laboratory tests of diesel private cars, they would exceed the emission standard in actual using on the road. Therefore, the administration is of the view that there should not be first registration anymore for diesel private cars which only comply with Euro petrol car emission standards. And the subcommittee has asked for more assistance and support from the administration for the trade to make sure there will be enough skills and also technical people to maintain Euro 6 cars. And the car manufacturing people should also open up the software for on-car self-diagnosis. The administration has said that the VTC has regularly provided such training courses, and the EPD is working with the VTC and other bodies to hold seminars in order to disseminate latest car maintenance information. According to Euro 6 emission standards, the manufacturers must arrange for the publication of maintenance material and the software after payment is made. The prices for cars during Euro 6 standards are more or higher than Euro 5 cars, and some members are of the view that there should be ex gratia payment for phasing out of pre-Euro 4 diesel commercial vehicles, or there should be a new plan to give incentive to the transport trade to change their vehicles to Euro 6 early. The administration notes members' views. We support the proposed resolution of the administration. We will not move any amendment proposals for the resolution. Next, I will speak on the regulation myself. We live in the same place. Anything that can help to improve air quality will be supported by the transport trade. It is just that you have to align with people's sentiments when you implement the new scheme, and also to minimize negative impact on the trade. In November 2015, the administration introduced the tightening up of standards to Euro 6 to the transport panel. Members already said that there would be some worries towards maintenance of Euro 5 and Euro 6 vehicles. At the end of last year, after consulting the trade, the administration again came to the EA panel to report, and the commencement dates have now been deferred. For goods vehicles and buses, it has been deferred by 1 year until the 1st of January 2018. That goes to show that the original proposal was not practical or pragmatic. On the 24th of February 2017, we held a public hearing, and the container vehicle trade and also buses and even maintenance groups came to say unanimously that the timetable was a little rushed for tightening the standard to Euro 6. There have not been a supply of such vehicles, and also the maintenance trade is not prepared. So there will be an adverse impact. As for private cars, the standard tightening to level 3 California, there has been too little notice, and even the agencies cannot make changes to their sales plans, and there will be a negative impact on compliance with the standards. And at the public hearing, the administration was asked to defer the commencement date, including that for taxis and private cars, that it should be deferred to 2018. As for buses and lorries, you should make sure that there is enough supply in the market before it is commenced, and most members supported the proposal from the sector that day. As a matter of fact, many transport people in Hong Kong use Japanese-made heavy vehicles because the models are more suitable for Hong Kong, and also they are less expensive than the European models. Euro-made heavy vehicles are usually 25% more expensive than the Japanese models, but the Japanese models cannot comply with the Euro 6 standard as yet, and therefore heavy vehicles in the roads are from a few brands from Europe. If there is premature tightening of emission standards to Euro 6, the lorry trade will not have any choice but have to choose more expensive European models, and there will be a hike in their operating cost. Apart from supply of vehicles, maintenance is another topic of concern. Euro 5 vehicles have entered the Hong Kong market for a long time, but owners still face maintenance difficulties. Vehicle manufacturers are not opening up the maintenance techniques for those models. You can only go back to the manufacturer or designated maintenance workshops. And since there is a short supply of parts and accessories, the waiting time is long. Right now, we do not have a lot of supply of Euro 6 vehicles in Hong Kong, and it's difficult for the technicians to know the techniques. The EPD is organizing seminars to help the maintenance technicians to understand the advanced technology required for Euro 6 vehicles, but the progress is not ideal, and the training is focused on the concept of emission reduction of the new models only. Since the Bureau does not have the correct market information, and therefore after the first subcommittee meeting, I arranged for an informal tripartite meeting with Bureau and department staff, subcommittee members, and also the industry. Hopefully, the government and members will understand why we cannot rush into tightening up the emission standards. During the meeting, some manufacturers said that by 2018, there should be some Japanese models available, but they do not have the exact number of supply. The administration should also step up communication with the maintenance trade and also to improve their courses on maintaining European vehicles. And members agree that there should be further deferral of the commencement date, and also the administration should consider also deferring the implementation of the California Level 3 standards for diesel private cars and by 6 months. And then for design weight of goods vehicles, more than 3.5 tons, and buses for or more than 9 tons, that should be deferred as well. But then the administration has only agreed that there is a deferral of 3 months for private cars and 9 months for goods vehicles. It is not responding to all the requests of the industry. The industry is disappointed, but they can not but only accept the decision of the administration. In 2014, there was over 10 billion ex gratia payment for phasing out Euro 4 vehicles. And it was on the basis of the rateable value for Euro 5 vehicles available at the time. Now Euro 6 vehicles use even newer technology, and its retail price is 20% more than Euro 5 vehicles. Even if there will be ex gratia payment comparable to the phasing out of Euro 4 vehicles, because of difference in prices, the ex gratia payment will all have to be paid to the manufacturers. Therefore, many members agreed that the administration should consider giving more ex gratia payment to encourage owners to switch from Euro 3 directly to Euro 6 in order to improve roadside air quality. The industry basically supports the replacement of vehicles, and of course the performance of new vehicles will also be better. However, the finances are an important consideration. Helping the environment comes at a cost, and if it is only shouldered by the industry, it is not reasonable. If the administration is of the view that Euro 6 vehicles are a big improvement over Euro 5, then it should consider providing more incentives to encourage owners to consider adopting Euro 6 vehicles when they replace their vehicles. According to the ex gratia payment given for phasing out of pre-Euro 4 vehicles, we understand that next year Euro 2 vehicles will not be the subject of license renewal anymore. And for Euro 3 models, they will also not be the subject of license renewal some years later. And there should be more incentive, therefore, in the form of more assistance to owners so they will switch directly to Euro 6 vehicles. And our quality, air quality would be much improved, and it will be very much worth our while. I will repeat, Mr. President, even if the industry accepts the change, the administration should pay close attention to the availability of Euro 6 vehicles in the market and also the complementary maintenance package. If there is a shortage of supply or a shortage of maintenance technicians, there should be flexibility, and the commencement date might have to be deferred again so that there will not be a negative impact on the trade. Thank you.
Does any other member wish to speak? If not, I ask the Secretary for Environment to reply. Debate will come to a close after that. Secretary, I thank the subcommittee chairman, Mr. Frankie Yick, and the 6 members who have given their valuable input during the scrutiny of the regulation. And I ask members to support our proposed amendments so that more stringent standard can be implemented as soon as possible to improve Hong Kong's air quality. Thank you. And I put the question to you, and that is that the motion moved by the Secretary for Environment be passed. Will those in favour please raise their hands? Those against please raise their hands. I think the question is agreed by a majority of members present. I declare the motion passed. Members' motion.